Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us for Crime Unveiled with Courtney Bennett on this Tuesday evening. Tonight, we're going to talk about a case from April of 2022. You might remember it. It has to do with a Grand Rapids police officer. It is a case that was 26-year-old Patrick Lyoya, who was fatally shot in the back of the head during a traffic stop that was conducted by former Grand Rapids police officer Christopher Schur. Now, yesterday there was a pivotal ruling that came from the Sixth Circuit Court in Kalamazoo. It said that in the civil case, so there's a civil case that's going on right now that was filed on behalf of Patrick Lyoya's family against the police officer. That civil case can actually continue. The police officer, his attorney, filed an appeal with the Sixth Circuit Court asking for that case to be dismissed against him. He said that he was protected under governmental immunity. Now, someone who represents the family in this civil case is Attorney Ven Johnson. Ven Johnson has been fighting for governmental immunity, and he's really had these big cases that the people have claimed governmental immunity, and they've appealed, and in some cases that appeals court did say that those employees were protected in it. But Ven Johnson, along with Ben Crump, represents the family in this. Earlier today, I talked to Attorney Ven Johnson about this case, about how pivotal it is that this decision did come down yesterday. Here's our interview that we did.
We successfully argued the Schur appeal. That's the former officer. He filed a motion asking the court to dismiss it under governmental immunity, sovereign immunity, call it what you will, but you already know what that all about that, Courtney. Judge Maloney in the trial court down in U.S. District Court in Kalamazoo said, no, this case should proceed to trial. Schur's lawyers appealed to the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals. That's one level below the United States Supreme Court. And a panel of 3 judges agreed with us, agreed with Judge Maloney, saying, no, Schur, you don't get out like this now. This needs to go back to the trial court and go on your path to trial.
This happened in April of 2022. We are now more than 2 years.
Almost 2.5.
That
Yes,
day.
ma'am.
Why does it take so long?
You and I have talked about this a lot, and you know the answer. Governmental immunity. In addition to having all of these special privileges, because as you know, you sue the king doesn't want you to, and if he says it's okay to sue you, he doesn't really mean it. So, but not only that, Courtney, then you get special appellate rights, so that if you say no to the king, and then the trial judge says no to the king, then the king gets to appeal right away and not wait to the end of the case. If we would have lost, we have to wait to the end of the case. We don't have an automatic right of appeal. Inherently unfair. I believe it denies equal protection under the law, due process under the law. You and I have talked about this a lot in other cases, but this is yet another horrible example, Courtney, of how the little guy, the people that vote for the government, whose their rights get pushed aside so that the king can say, thumb nose at you and say, I don't really want you to sue me, so you're not going to be allowed to.
Right.
How does this hurt the victims, the families? I mean, Patrick Lyoya's families. We've talked about other cases, the Oxford case. I mean, the list goes on and on.
Yes, it does.
Dams. How does it hurt the people?
It feels like the system is rigged against the victims. Say what you want. Patrick Lyoya was shot in the back of the head by an officer, and Patrick did not have a gun. And interesting, in the opinion, I hope you take a look at, Courtney, these allegations that Schur has made from day one that, he took the taser away from me. The United States Court of Appeals, Sixth Circuit, said that's not apparent in the video. So you guys go fight about those facts, and he'll be able to say that in this defense if he wants to. He can say whatever he wants to, right? But not just where they're arguing, the video shows that Patrick did that, and that's not true. And the court said it's not true. So again, go to trial, work on the facts, move on your path to trial, and that's what we're excited about. But absolutely, it frustrates the family and makes it feel like the system really is rigged against them.
For the family, what does it mean for them to get that trial, to have their day in court?
Everything. Obviously, if we didn't have trial, God only knows what would happen in our country, let alone today with all the craziness going on in the world. But having the ability to go to trial against someone that you believe has wronged you, that is an inherent right in our state constitution and a United States Constitution, right to a jury trial by our peers. So it is huge. It's everything, Courtney. It's one of the reasons why these people who came to the United States, they from Bengal, they heard about the freedom. They wanted to experience that and they wanted to live here. And then when you come here and change the rules because a police officer is involved, it really just shakes up the whole thing. So they're waiting patiently, doing everything their lawyers are asking them to do. But yesterday it was a big victory, no doubt.
How long are we looking at right now when it comes to this case? When will we see, it being closed?
Right. Uh, in a phrase, I really don't know. I think what's going to happen, we're going to go to Kalamazoo either on Zoom or live one day. We're going to meet with Judge Maloney. Judge Maloney will do this thing called a status conference where we talk with him and talk with the lawyers on the other side. And we come up with kind of a game plan of due dates of when certain things got to be done, the depositions of all these people, when we have to produce expert reports, when those experts have to give depositions, so forth and so on, because a lot has to be done, Courtney. So I don't think we're going to get a trial date much before the end of next year. And you mark my words, Sure will try to appeal that. When his motion is denied again, he's going to want to go back to the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals just to delay the whole thing by another year to year and a half. So we're going to fight that and do everything we can to prevent it. But there's only so much we can do when you sue the man.
Do you feel that people see these cases and they say, well, it's not working for them, it's not working fast enough, so maybe I shouldn't say something, maybe I shouldn't do something when it comes to me? And is there ever, justice in those types of cases?
A great question. I know a lot of people feel disillusioned when they see this again, and this is where I appreciate the Loyola family allows Ben Crump and me and our firms to steer the ship on the, I'll call it the legal sea, and they're doing everything we can ask. But yeah, from their end, it certainly doesn't feel fair, right, or just.
That was Attorney Ven Johnson talking about the civil case when it comes to Patrick Lyoya. This case again happened April of 2022. It was 26-year-old Patrick Lyoya who was fatally shot in the back of the head during a traffic stop, and it was conducted by former Grand Rapids police officer Christopher Schur. This was a ruling that came down from the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Sixth Circuit. And it was determined yesterday that civil case against Schur can move forward, that there is no evidence, there's no claim of governmental immunity, that he's not protected under that. And this is something that Attorney Ven Johnson has consistently brought up about. He says the issues when it comes to governmental immunity, when public officials, when they are protected under this law in the state of Michigan, and they can't be sued because they, again, fall under that governmental immunity. Ven Johnson has been working really hard to bring that to the forefront, to let people know that this is what's going on in the state. You can read more about this case on our website, midmichigannow.com. I just want to thank you all for joining us tonight for Crime Unveiled with Courtney Bennett on this Tuesday evening. We'll see you again next week.